This is part one of a two-part on Elementor form submissions, using it and the issue we had with it, along with how to fix it or how we got around it. We're very big fans of Elementor. We converted all of our WordPress websites over to it. Love it. It was great when we saw they finally came out with forms, so we don't have to use a plugin for that. And it got even better when we saw they came out with the submissions to capture the entries on the forms. Unfortunately, the submissions doesn't work as well or the way it needs to, in our opinion. So we had to do a temporary fix. We put in a request for Elementor to fix the problem. In this video, we just cover what the problem actually is. As part of the fix, we needed to use the hooks for writing to the database. If you're just using a really simple, like 3 fields form, you probably won't have any issue with submissions. But we developed a multi-step form, and it has HTML fields, headings, and user guidance text. And all of that extra created our issues. Enough words, let's take a look at what we're talking about. Okay, here's our multi-step form for ordering concert tickets. The first input for our form comes in the form of clickable boxes. Once the customer has chosen the ticket they wish to purchase, confirmation is presented to them. If that's okay, they move on to the next step of the form. The second step now allows gathering information via toggle switches and a text input field. A simple yes or no for parking sticker, and if they toggle the special needs, then they are able to enter what their requirements are. In this case, ramp access. Moving on to the third section, in this step, another toggle field is presented. However, if they choose yes, they are presented with several checkboxes. These are multiple choice options. So you can see we've got quite a few different forms of input. Moving on to the final step of the form presents the section that gathers common data fields for forms such as first and last name, email address, a phone number, and with all of this input gathered, the form would then be ready for submission. However, normally you'd probably have a payment field of some sort of payment option, and we're not going to show you that now because this is just about the submissions. So we hit send, and it's processed, and if we look, the form was sent successfully. Okay, so this all looks fine. Let's go take a look at what the submissions are like in our admin dashboard. Okay, so here's our submission form. Let's view it and see what we have. Whoa! What's with all the empty fields? What? Oh, wait. There's one. There's an entry. There's a couple more entries. Yay! Finally. So if we look at the top of our submission form, it's kept 11 fields, all empty. Some of these fields we don't need at all. Some they just didn't capture the information. Some is hidden amount, but it should show up here in the admin panel. It isn't until the 12th field that we finally get some data. Now if we look further down on the submission, we do have more fields, but we have a few more empty fields as well. So to us, this is unacceptable. We have to fix this somehow. Before we get into our actual fix, we want to show you how we think Elementor could fix this for us, and the request, what we put into the request to update the submissions process. If we look at the design of our form, we have all these fields. It's a simple looking form, but to do it took all of these extra fields, and that's why they're shown up in submissions, even though we don't need a lot of them or the data from them. but somehow we have to eliminate them. And Elementor could do this for us through what we believe is a simple method. If we look at our template, there's the ability to suggest what you want to happen after you submit the form. Actions after submit. Right now it's just collect submissions, and if you go down to collect submissions and open that, there is nothing. There's no option to select what fields you want or don't want, and that's what needs to be corrected, we believe. If you look at actions after submit and add the email field or some of the others, and then go down and take a look at that, you have the option to enter only the fields that you want to have kept on the submissions, or in this case to be kept and sent with your email. And that's what we think needs to be added to the submissions portion of Elementor on the form. So if you went up and click the collect submissions, in that you should be able to do just like you can with the email. There is, however, a second part to our issue. The input fields that we created in HTML, the submission has the field, but not the data entered. And this would not be a simple thing to just add to the submission area like you can with email. And these missing fields are all the ones that we created using HTML. It's an option in Elementor, and if you use HTML like we did here for a hidden field, well, that field gets really hidden. It doesn't show up on the input, though the field heading name does. And likewise for some of the other HTML fields we created, be they their checkboxes especially, you won't see them unless you use a different methodology. And part of the reason for this is because, you can use the standard checkboxes in forms, but we made toggle switches, and by doing the toggle switches, the design we had to do, then we had to do the HTML method, which prevented the data from coming in. Originally we were going to show you how to fix this all in one video, but there's quite a bit yet our troubleshooting method and how we solve the problem. So we're going to split this into two parts. So we'll end here, and this is part 1. Look for our part 2. We'll try and get that done in the next couple weeks. Thank you for watching, and if you can, subscribe. That helps, I guess. I don't know. We're not looking to make money out of this. We're just trying to help you out. Take care.